Hi, my name is Agnes, and I ruptured my Achilles tendon on June 8th, 2016, and it's been about 7 months since my rupture. I know I haven't updated the videos in a while. I've been updating my blog, and you can read about my gradual progress. There is a link below the video, but I thought I'll update you guys with the progress and with the PT activities I've been doing, and also the status of my Achilles and the calf strength and flexibility. As far as life, at 7 months, I'm pretty much back to almost normal. I do feel tightness in my Achilles, especially in the morning when I wake up. But for about 2.5, 3 weeks, I've been walking barefoot for the first time. So that's big change in the last month. I was not able to do that for months. I always had to wear shoes with wedges, like heel raises inside of it, whole day in the house or going outside. Going outside, it's easier. You can just wear heels, and my ankles became pretty strong because of the PT, so I was able to wear regular heels for a while. But at home, I had to wear tennis shoes with raised wedges. I posted about it in my blog, so you can check out which shoes I've been wearing. So that's tightness. That's the big thing. Also, when sitting for a while and I get up, I can't get up quickly. My foot needs to warm up a little bit. I need to rotate my ankle a little bit to get the flexibility a little bit back. Other than that, the strength, I'm about 70% with strength of my calf now. We have to recheck it with my PT. We checked about last month and I was at 60%. The way he did the strength test was he made me do calf raises on the bad leg as much as I can do, single calf raises and single calf raises on the good leg, and just basically compare. So I was able to do about 60 single calf raises on my bad leg and slightly over 100 on the good one. So now I'm probably slightly better because of all the intensive calf raises. Other than that, it's just basically different workouts. I can feel the differences, but as far as life, I do not feel difference in the calf strength. Maybe if I do climb ladders and I do something slightly more advanced, I have to be more cautious. Of course, I don't want to roll this foot. Rely too much on it yet. But in normal activities, I think I'm good right now. So it's just sports, a return to sports, something, that I need to work on now, make sure that this calf is as strong as possible. So now I'm going to show some calf raises. This is my injured leg. This is my healthy leg. So I'm not holding on to anything. I'm just with index fingers holding onto the wall. So this is difference in my calves. And there is about half an inch difference now. But my injured calf was slightly bigger at the beginning, so I have about 1 inch to gain back in the size. So this is my good leg. I just want to show the difference in single calf raise. And now this is my injured leg. So just to see the difference. And again, both legs. This is view from front to see how different they are. There is visually not that much difference. It's really that the fat part of the calf that you can see the difference. So, and now this is calf raise on my injured leg and calf raise on my good leg. Now I just want to show the difference in my tendon. You can see the difference. This one is nice and thin. This one is still thick, but I have some more definition than I did last time I posted. So it's thinner than last time, but definitely not the same as my good side. Now I just want to show it on the step, the difference between the calves. Again, my right one is the injured one. So here you can also see the difference in dorsiflexion. The good leg, I can go really far down. This one, the injured one, I have limited dorsiflexion still. Maybe show the sideways as well. So here's my good leg, just to show you the flexibility of it. So let's say somewhere here. It's where my toes are. So I'll just mark it. And now I'll show you my injured leg. This is about it. So this is the difference. Where the pen is where my good leg was, and this is where my bad leg is. So I'm still have quite a few centimeters to go. So this were calf raises and close-up of my calf during calf raises, and I also showed you the difference in flexibility, still way to go. My good calf, as far as flexibility, it's at about 16, 17 centimeters, and my injured calf, this morning when I got into my PT, I was at 9 centimeters, and then after the stretches and some of the work my PT did on my Achilles tendon, we were able to get it up to 11 centimeters. So we were really happy about this. So I have about 5-6 centimeters to go. So I'm very excited about it. It's getting closer and closer to being as normal as possible. So I'm going to show you guys some of the PT exercise I'm doing now. All of this is very dynamic. My physical therapist adjusts my PT depending on how my body reacts to it. And we've been really concentrating on stretching. One thing is I started running a while back. It was 2 months back I started running, and because of the difference in flexibility and strength, I was compensating a lot on my left side, and I developed hamstring. First was upper hamstring strain, but now it moved a little bit to the back and lower hamstring. And I felt a little bit in my knee, but hamstring was the biggest problem. So we've been rehabbing my hamstring for the last month and a half or so. So that set me back a little bit, but I mean, it didn't change anything as far as rehab for my Achilles. I still have been doing it the same, none of this is impacted. But we started a lot of more stretching just to get me back, as close as possible with both legs, so I do not compensate as much. So let me show you some of the exercises I've been doing. So first exercise I'm going to show you guys is double calf raises on steps. I mean, calf raises will become like your second nature. You have to do them every day to regain the strength. I'm doing them now with 50 pounds. I had to distribute them since it became heavy to hold in my hand. So I've got 30 pounds in my backpack, and I'll have 20 pounds dumbbells, so together 50 pounds. I do them on the step to get more stretch, and I do 3 sets of 30 every day. This is a nice way to warm up calves before the rest of the PT exercise. And let me show you sideways. Next one is bent leg double calf raises. This works soleus part of the calf. Let me show you sideways. And one more calf raises. These are the eccentric calf raises. So again, 30 pounds in the backpack, 20 pounds in a dumbbell. And I do the straight eccentric calf raises on the step. So that's again. And the bent leg eccentric calf raises, I do them on the ground. On the sideways view. Now here's nice exercise if you have stiff ankles. That's when my PT started me doing this. Right now it really works nicely for the calves. Sometimes I get up and just do it just to warm up my stiff calf. So you basically are stiff everywhere and just move your feet. So it's just like feet tapping. Just make sure your knees are straight, your hips are straight. So you just basically move your feet as much as, as quickly as possible. So it looks simple, but it's not for your calves. Try to do it for a minute without stopping. I do now 3 sets, each of them a minute. So if I do really intense calf exercises one day, next day if I do the foot tapping, you can really feel burn in your calf. But it's proved really effective for my ankle. It was very stiff initially on some of the jumps in PT. It was getting really stiff. Now it's pretty much fixed the stiffness while exercising. So I do it religiously every day. So it's pretty good exercise. So this is wobbly cushion. Let me get a close up of it. It's basically a rubber inflatable cushion. It's like a hard rubber. It has like little dots on each side. One side has slightly bigger dots than the other. And it's really good for balancing. So, hope I don't fall on my face here. But basically, you can do a lot of exercises while balancing on it. I started with it just by holding it for 2 minutes. So it really works nicely on your ankle and your calf muscles. If you try to hold it for a couple of minutes, you'll feel it. And then I started skaters on it. Or you can do single leg squats. You can also bounce the ball. I have a big exercise ball, so sometimes I just throw it and bounce it off the wall. That throws off your balance, and you really have to work this connective tissue in your ankle. And just let me show you sideways of this. I really recommend it. My PT showed this to me, and I found it slightly more challenging than Wobble, even though I do both. Here's Wobble. It's pretty cool because you can do a lot of exercises on it. So it has 2 sides, the black side and the colored side, the soft side. So here again, similar to wobbly cushion on this side, you can see my ankle working like crazy. This is my injured side I do all of it on, so it's slightly weaker. So again, with the skaters. Or squats. Saying wobbly cushion is harder, but I actually did better on it today. Usually I do better on Wobble. Let me show you sideways. And the squats. These are just few that you can do. Again, you can bounce the ball while standing on it. And I do 3 sets of 2 minutes on each leg for balancing a day. So I mix and match. I do 1 set of wobbly cushion, 1 set of Wobble, and 1 set you can flip it over. It will give you workout on your ankle as well. So with this side you can do even double squats, but you can do double leg squats as well with it. So there. And of course all the single leg exercises I showed you, you can do it on it as well. There you go. So the next exercise is going to be a series of bridges on exercise ball. I don't think I recorded a video of it. I have photos on my blog for it, but let me show you the video how it is. I've been doing it for months, and it's been like a progressive um, process. So let me show you how I started and where I am now. But these are really good for your glutes and hamstrings, and also my PT made me do them because it works on the muscles that wrap around the knees. So this is really helpful in the recovery right now. So I really recommend these. Basically, double leg bridges. And I was told to point my toes out in order to work on this muscle slightly better. So you basically squeeze your butt and your hamstrings. Make sure you do not arch your back, so just be strong in your core. And you just curl and go back. So this is just the basic bridge. And you can initially go down in between to rest. The important thing is you just, as you go down and you come back, squeeze your glutes and your hamstrings and make sure core is strong. Then you can progress to single leg, single bridge. So again, you do the same thing. Squeeze your glutes, core is strong, and you just curl. Then if you're ready to progress, you do double bridge. Start with 2 legs, and it's again, same beginning, squeeze your core, glutes, go in, raise your hips as far as you can, get down and release. And then the progression to this is to do it with single leg. So again, the same thing. Squeeze glutes, strong core. Another thing that my PT made me do is put your shoulders on Wobble. So this adds a little bit of balancing, as if this wasn't enough balancing, but so that's another variation, and you can do single leg as well. Another thing is to do clamps, and for this I use TheraBand. You just put it around your knees, get down on the floor, make sure you squeeze your core and your butt, and basically just pull it out. Another thing he was making me do is put your leg, make sure squeeze your gut again, and just keep raising your leg. So this really works on your glutes. Another exercise is to walk side to side with, again, resistant bands. I'm using slightly harder resistant band for it than in the previous exercise. And you just basically get down and make as big steps as possible. And make sure your body doesn't wobble side to side. So you only move your lower body. And you just go side to side. That became a bit easy for me, so I add weights to it. So I just grab 20-pound dumbbell and do the same thing. And I usually do it in different room, which is larger, so you don't switch directions as often. Exercise with bands, it's just balancing with bands around your ankles. So I basically stand on my injured leg. I do it for both legs, but it's really the point of it is to strengthen the leg that you injured. So you stand on your injured leg, and with the other leg, you basically go forward, and I do 20 of those, go sideways, and I do 20 of these, and go backwards. And again, 20 of this. I do them often on Wobble. just to make it harder. And here is the side view. Again, standing on the leg that's actually working. It's for the leg that you're standing on. You will feel it a little bit on the leg that's moving, but it's really more for the leg that you're standing on. And to the side. And another exercise my PT didn't give it to me, but I found it online. Basically also with bands. I just go forward and backward, forward, and just make sure to stretch it throughout the whole exercise. And with the same thing with the other leg. I do most of the exercises for both legs, not to neglect my good leg either. Sometimes I just walk around and I hold weights usually. Just want to activate these glutes as much as possible. Another exercise is lunges, and my PT made me do them with lunges to step with calf raise, so it also engages some of the calf. Now I add a little bit of weight to it. So you just do regular lunge, get on a step, and do calf raise. And try to use as much of calf as possible while doing the calf raise. And here are squats. So I again use weights with them. And I just squat and get up to calf raises. Squat, calf raises, and sideways view. So after PT, I have to stretch, and good way to start it is with foam roller. I do the rest of my legs as well, but as far as calf is concerned, I basically start at the top and try to find sore point. If there is a sore point, I basically stay there longer and try to work on it. If you see, like I'm putting the other leg on my leg that's being worked on just to add some weight on it. So I just don't rock back and forth, just basically go piece by piece and try to find tender spot. And if there is something that, it's hurting, just stay there and work on it more. So for the first few months when I was not stretching, I was not allowed to roll on my Achilles, but now that we're trying to stretch it out, I'm supposed to, that's the point of the stretch, to actually get down all the way to Achilles and roll it. Usually that is a little bit tender, so I go all over it. And once I find a spot that's really tender, just to show you, I'm supposed to pump my foot up and down. And I do sometimes bend stretching. That's something I'm pretty sure you guys have seen everywhere. You just basically put your foot back and hold it. Doing solos part of my calf, and I hold it now about 3 sets of 45 seconds, and I just work side to side and back and forth on it. And the gastro part, basically I'm working my back leg, and again I move back and forth and side to side, and again I do 3 sets of 45 seconds a day. Here's another cool tool. My PT didn't give it to me. I went for a massage therapy, and apparently my bottom of my foot was whacked out that week from all the calf raises I was doing. So this is like a little ball with dots, and I was told to basically roll my foot on it. And you know what? Regardless how many calf raises I do, even if my foot is not sore, this ball will find sore spots in it. So I recommend it to everyone really, whether you had this injury or not. It's like really nice to find tender spots, massage it out. My feet definitely feel better. We've been doing quite a lot of jumps earlier on my PT. I mentioned my hamstring problem, and because of hamstring problem, we slowed down with it and concentrate mostly on the hamstring recovery and stretching just to get my injured leg back to the same dorsiflexion, so I can do some of these dynamic exercises at the same level on both legs. But basically, this is my jumping status. I can jump with no problem. And I've been jumping on stairs. We have a couple of stairs, so quite often for warm-up, I jump up and down on them. Try to do also footwork up and down the steps. That gets my body warmed up as well. So no problem with Achilles as far as this. We've been doing single leg jumps as well. So this is my injured leg. This is my good leg. So you can see my good leg is still stronger. My push-off is not as good as my good leg, but I can push off. I just feel a little bit more sluggish on it. As far as running, I mean, it was not a problem for my Achilles other than being really tight. And that's what caused my good hamstring to give up a little bit. So running, I've been running for, I think, over a month before my hamstring gave up. I ran in 5K beginning of December, and that went fine. So as far as Achilles, running was not a problem. My body did not like the lack of symmetry, I guess, so that will come with time as well. I've done cross-country skiing. I could feel my Achilles a little bit on the when you push with the front leg forward and you have to, keep moving your leg up and down in this motion. I could feel the Achilles after about half an hour or so. It was bearable, but I was trying to adjust it a little bit so I do not do it as dynamically. So next step, I'm going to downhill skiing. I had cold for the last couple of weeks, so once my congestion clears up, I'm going downhill skiing and I'll report how it went. So that's about it, guys. So the last 7 months have been definitely a journey. I'm still not 100%. I'm seeing my doctor in 2 months at my 9-month mark. So let's see, I'm pretty sure he's going to clear me for everything then. But as of now, I still am cautious about any side movements and sudden sprinting. But everything else as far as strength exercises, Achilles is doing fine with it, so I can do it. And the PT exercises that you saw, I do them 6 times a week. I give myself 1 day of rest a day, sometimes to look forward. And also it gives calf nice rest. And other than that, I still do other workouts. I still ride bike almost daily. Even if I don't have time and I have just 5 minutes to warm up on it, I do it. And quite often on my days off, I just will do 45 to an hour, just interval biking on my stationary bike, just to make sure the body doesn't get too stiff on the day off. And other than that, life is better. So if you're looking at this video earlier, things do get back to normal. And do not compare your timelines, by the way. If you're watching this video and you're in month 7 and you're not where I am or you're much ahead of me, it doesn't matter. Everybody is different. And what I mean, everybody is different. We heal differently and at different pace, and different PTs have slightly different protocols. So the development of the calf might be slightly different also depending on your condition and what else happened during your rupture. So don't compare yourself too much. This is what I'm showing, it's my road and it's sort of what to expect, but as far as timeline, it could be different for you. So that's it. Happy healing, everyone, and just wanted to report that so far I'm doing pretty alright. Talk to you later. Happy healing, and check out my blog. There is more photos and descriptions over there.